how many historic moments cards do we have right now?
0.
I don't know about that.
One. Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah,
Michael Jordan,
the pre-order.
pre-order.
Michael Jordan. If they are not sure about a player, why don't we have some moments cards from the historic times? You know, that would really help with some of this content issue that people keep referring to. Okay, you can pick from over 50 years, 60 years of NBA history and make a moments card out of that at any time. If you feel like the content's light one week, hey, drop me one of those historic moments cards and let me take a look at, Peja Stojakovic's career high or somebody like that.
Yeah.
There's lots of opportunities there that I think are being missed.
Right,
if you're not sure.
They're missing a lot of opportunity, that's for sure. A lot. That's why so many people are complaining, because you'll have a week like this. Like this week's Throwback Thursday and Flashback Friday are not. It's one of those weeks where everyone's just like, you just skip that week. And really, it shouldn't be like that. Like every week, they should be bringing in somebody good.
Some heat.
Even if you throw in some bums on the bottom, that's fine. You could throw in some bums, but you got to make sure that whoever's headlining that list is not somebody that doesn't even really, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
It should be somebody big. So throw out some bums, throw out a Kenyon Martin. They love that throw out that Andre Miller. But then you got to hit us with somebody else, somebody good, a legend, a Throwback Thursday player like a Carmelo or a Pierce, because they've dropped some. But it's like, this is how it's been so far. It's like 3 weeks in a row, no one's looking forward to it. Then finally it's like, bam, there goes somebody good, Pierce. Then, it's another 3 weeks, bam, there goes Carmelo or Dwight. Or actually it was Dwight, Carmelo. But you get what I'm saying. Every week, people should be like, yeah, he just came in the game.
And of course, that's the common one that I think we can all agree on is, we want some of those 90 amethysts. At the same time, we don't want the balance of the game to be screwed up and everybody running around with everything. But they're rare enough where I don't think that's going to be a problem. But the bigger thing to me is, why are we releasing cards like we talked about Kyle Korver, right? And Zach Randolph and some of these guys, they are literally, if they get pulled, they're going straight to the auction block for me. I'm not even touching them. I have no incentive to use them.
Because the regular Korver is better. And even the dynamic Korver is better than the throwback Korver. So it honestly doesn't even make sense. So that was filler. That was filler content. There's a lot of filler content. And that's the thing. Like when you see it's 2,700 cards to get Jordan, more than half of those cards are filler, stuff that nobody wants. Less is more. Sometimes less is more. Like we want more content, but we don't really want that more. We don't want more of filler. We want more greatness coming in. We want, time stuff that keeps you engaged every week. We don't want to have a week where we come in there and we're like, nothing happened this week.
Right. It's 52 weeks in a year, so they
On the
don't do the whole 2Ks releasing content year round. It stopped like June last year, July, when the playoffs ended.
They stop in June. That's another thing is when June comes, that's it. They're not going to be dropping content after that. So until the next game, that all the content's going to stop. It's going to be dead.
And I'm thinking, all right, so it's not 52 weeks. It's like maybe 40 plus. Anyway, you can make one good player for 40 weeks. That's 40 players. That's all it is. It's not that, it's not that hard to have.
And exactly. There's a top 50 players in NBA history. So you could definitely make somebody coming out every week.
Exactly. Now you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then again, if we're incentivized enough, we'll use some of those cards. Like Smoove was talking about, throw 50 players in there. Hey, if we had a 50 throwback box that we could throw and put into a set and turn into a better throwback player, or a throwback pack that guarantees a 90 overall or whatever the case may be, heck yeah, I'm pulling packs. I'm going to throw them into the sets. I'm going to save them up. And I won't complain as much about my Luis Scola. But until then, I don't know what to do with them. I don't have a challenge. I don't have any incentive. What's my motivation? That's my question.
Now, you know that on Twitter, everybody's been talking about the content that NBA Live is dropping. And that's why 2K doesn't really have an excuse, because if you remember, I think it was this week on their live stream, Ronnie was saying, because he actually talked about the comparison between Madden and 2K. And he's like, well, in Madden, they have more players. And right now they're at the end of the season. They're going into the playoffs. Then the content's going to stop. Ronnie obviously doesn't really know what goes on with Madden because Madden drops content all year. But the thing is that if you look at NBA Live, which is also an NBA game, they drop content in the same format. So there's really no, like, when 2K tries to make that excuse, they can't really make that excuse because you see Live doing it. Like every week when there's a bad week in 2K, somebody always retweets whatever Live dropped this week. You know, like one week it'll be we're getting who was it? We got like Andre Karolinko, and then Live had Allen Iverson coming in the game. You know, like how do you beat that, right? How do you compete with that? How do you say, we can't really drop?
Right.
My concern is with the balance. That's what I always come back to. That's just me personally. I might not speak for everybody here, but my concern is always with the balance. As long as it's balanced, then I'm good with whatever content you might throw at me, as long as it doesn't affect the balance of the mode overall. Now, I will say this. I think it comes back to resources. It's obvious that they're throwing some resources into Live Ultimate Team because there's regular content there. Obviously, somebody's got to work on that.
But how could they? Because Live isn't really making money. So how do they have more resources than 2K? Because 2K is making way more money. Like, you remember that report? First week sales?
Yeah.
It was like 2K sold 1 million. Live sold less than 8,000 or something like that. Like,
right. Exactly.
So how do they have more of a budget than there's no way.
Somebody's putting a lot of money on the front end to Live at that point, because somebody's got to work on that content, right? So once you get to that point and they're putting that in there, they're expecting eventually to turn that thing around, right, and make it better. The problem lies in the gameplay, not in the content for them. It's the gameplay.
Oh, the gameplay. And that's the thing, is the gameplay. So NBA Live is not going to save us. Even though people, they think that NBA Live is going to save. NBA Live, you have to understand, it's not like they're not trying. They're trying the best that they can do. That is the best they can do. Why wouldn't they put out the best that they could do?
Right, and I'm looking at it right now. I went on their Twitter page and saw some stuff. Like, the night we thought James Harden was going to get a moments card for a 50-point performance, Live comes out with the highlight of the night card. And we for sure thought, James Harden's been struggling. His dynamic card has went down into the gold level and not an amethyst tier anymore. Maybe this game he just had would give us an amethyst moments card or something like that, and we never got it.
So that's the thing, though, is that, okay, we see that Live, obviously that's the best that they can do, and we're looking at what 2K's doing. That's got to be the best that they can do too, because why would they slack on purpose? Why wouldn't they give everything that they have to give? They're both businesses. They both want to do well. They want to make more money. They're doing what they can do. So maybe, like, when we see the 0-0 glitch, maybe they can't fix it. That's why it's still there.
Right. And then, again, you have to dedicate resources into fixing that. To me, it comes back to that. Where are you putting your resources?
Because we can't, imagine us going all year long and they still don't fix that 0-0 glitch. And it's scary.
You're not going to be competing against humans at that point. You're going to be competing against, I hope my results go in. And that's a problem when you get up to that third seed and above.
Yeah. Like, every game that I play, I'm like crossing my fingers, please give me the win if I get this win. Like, when I'm going back to the menu, I'm hoping that I get it back, because you just don't know. That's how bad this situation is. You don't have trust that you're going to get a win. And remember, this game is not free because you have to use contracts. You're always spending something. So if they can't figure out this 0-0 thing, then they should just take out the contracts from the mode. Yeah. And that's another thing that's scary, is that they're acting like it's not an issue, because when that video first came out, when I made my first video back in whenever, the very next day, Ronnie was on Twitter and he lied. He said, oh, we fixed that issue the day that video came out. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then I was like, what? And then I asked everybody, and people started sending all these pictures. And it still happens today. Like, if I check my tweets today, I'm going to see people saying, I thought they fixed this. Look, I got 3 losses out of my last 5 games by 0-0 loss. So imagine going the entire year and they never fix this issue.
I don't want to imagine it. I've always been the type that, you guys know me, I've been feedback. Give them the feedback and give them a little bit of time to fix it, and they'll fix it. If they don't fix that, I'm going to have a problem. And that's the biggest thing.
Because they're working on patch 4 right now.
Right, they are.
And I doubt that this is going to be in the patch notes, because in patch 3, they didn't have anything in the notes either. And we were like, whoa, because this is a big issue, but for whatever reason, they're not acting like it's a big issue.
It's number one.
They don't even acknowledge it. I don't think I've ever heard them say anything about it, like LD or Ronnie. I've never heard them ever since Ronnie said it was fixed back then. I've never heard them address it.
Yeah, it's the number one issue to me, and I've taken it to the developers, send them that feedback, and it's acknowledged there. But it would be nice. I agree with you, man. That might surprise some people, but I would agree with you that you need overall somebody to, if you have an issue within the game, especially my team or Ultimate Team, whatever the case may be. They've got it in Madden. We always say that, right? They've got people that are interacting with the community in specific regard to that. And I think beyond just having that issue, it's being heard. And I do think that they're doing the best they can.
Because actually, when we're speaking about this, Madden, this week, I think there was an issue. They put out a patch or something, and then everybody's game was freezing or something was happening. So they just immediately started working on it. Like they did something. They took off accessories or they were trying to fix it immediately. That's Madden.
I don't mind if you have a problem, if something's going on in the game, okay? But just acknowledge it. I think where it angers people is where you feel like you're not being acknowledged, and that you, like you said with what they were talking about, they acted like it wasn't there. It's there. I have video proof. You have video proof. We have pictures, all that stuff. Just address it.
But this goes back to the dynamic rating boxes, though, is that even when 2K messes up, they just act like they didn't mess up.
Just address it.
With the dynamic ratings, they didn't address it. They just changed the text. But people that are affected, you get nothing. The 0-0 losses, we get nothing. It's not like they took the contracts away, made it a contract-free mode for like a month or two, let people play as many games online, as many challenges without using contracts. It's not like they're giving people a locker code for contracts. They're not doing anything for it. So that's the bad thing, is when something goes bad, they're not actually going to reimburse or fix it. They're just going to like act like it's not there, and then hopefully if they can get a fix in, they get it.
Remember Grand Theft Auto when it came out and they had all those issues with the servers? I mean, that's to be expected at this point with most games that are tied to online.
Yeah, when the game first comes out, but remember, this is December.
Right. And
I just rhymed right there. Remember, it's December.
but remember,
and they're still doing it.
Remember, they gave out something to those people. They gave them like, I think it was $1 million or $2 million.
They did, but 2K never gives anything. Has 2K ever given us something?
Not as a sorry for this or that. I don't think.
Nah, they have not. I don't think so. I can't think of anything. Maybe the locker codes. A free Ruby Iggy a while back. That was a long time.
And actually, just as we're recording this, LD2K just tweeted that patch 4 will address the couch co-op bug, which was a big glitch, by the way, and other gameplay tweaks. But it doesn't say anything about. It says full notes with patch are coming, so we'll keep you updated. But once again, it doesn't say anything about the server issues or anything like that. So who knows? That might not even be in there. So we might be going a full year with those 0-0 losses. That's some cheese.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It needs to be just a little more transparent to me in some points. And I don't think that's any one person's fault. I think that's an overall thing. You need to have somebody dedicated to just that, because it seems like people wear a lot of hats there.
It does. It does. I'll say that it does, because it's like sometimes you think, all right, if they could do some of this stuff, they would. And I'm like, do they have enough people to do that stuff? Because at the same time, we were talking about live, and they have they're constantly putting it out. Well, we know it's a company, Electronic Arts. They have other games that are succeeding, like FIFA and Madden, that can help for the loss of NBA Live. And that's the thing about 2K. NBA 2K is like the big game for 2K Sports.
That keeps the lights on over there,
Exactly. So if they don't have the people, that's a struggle I believe they have right now.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before, was it all goes back to resources. Yeah, Live might not be making a lot of money right now, but they have resources that they're willing to invest in. I was told once that a good business plan allows for a cushion of losing money for a couple of years, and by the third year, if you don't turn a profit, then it's a bad business. Guess which year we're in right now?
Year 3, right?
Yep. Coming at you.
And what year is this for my team? This is what we've been at it since what 2K
13, 14,
13?
15, 16. This is the 4th year.
Wow. And we still see things that we like and things we dislike.
This is part 2 of my discussion with Bud and Robby. The links to their channels are in the description. I hope you're enjoying this. We do have some more coming, so stay tuned. That's what I want to see. Oh, Fox, can you get this? Fox, can you go get that? Oh, he got it. Rick Fox. I found a sleeper. Officially. 3 games in a row. It's not a fluke. This man is a beast. Get that out of here. Not in my house.